I'll take a quick look at CVX again this morning. It's one of the stocks that I follow quite regularly, and it's a dividend stock that I look at as far as trying to get into for longer term dividends. First thing we want to notice, this is the daily moving average chart. First thing we notice is, we've got the 200 here that's pretty flat. It's provided some good support right through here. A little bit of bounce here, but I wouldn't call it great support because it has broken through a couple of times, even though it's traded back to it. Our moving averages are below the 200, so we don't have a setup, strictly speaking, from the way that I trade my swing trading system as far as long here. We also got two really ugly candles here that look like there's going to be some more pullback. So I couldn't say that I see a long setting up at the moment. I guess which if you're trying to trade this for dividends, that's what you're looking for. One thing that we could look at to see if we may have a short setting up, and I'm going to go through the other charts and take a look at that. This candle certainly would indicate that there's some more downside pressure. I would have rather seen this candle right here or on this candle to go short below it. Let's take a look at a couple of other and see what we've got. If we look at this candle, it's our wave chart, and it does look like we do have a short right here from a wave standpoint. The only thing that bothers me is how this wave is going back and forth. I don't really have a trend. And remember from the other chart I showed you, I didn't have a trend either. RSI is right in the middle. It does look like there's more downward pressure. This trend line right here is a very, very old weekly trend line, so I'm not sure how much support it's really going to provide. I think that this trend line and this trend line are more the channel we're trading in right now, and that's kind of what I'm going to be looking at. So to go short, I really would like to see this candle or something up in this range to go short. There is some potential here. If you want to go short, you just have to be sure to keep a really tight stop if you decide to do that. We're going to talk about another trade in just a few minutes, so stay tuned toward the end. I want to show you another trade I'm looking at with the CVX. Let's pull up the next chart. It's the Bollinger Band chart. We've got the same short signal. The only thing that tells me this might not be a short would be the moving averages, and that's because of how flat they are. And it makes me wonder if we're just not going to chop through here. So I could see from the charts that we could have a short setup by our rules, except for the fact that we don't really have the stacked moving averages that we want, because you see this is the 10 EMA. It's come back up over the 30, I'm sorry, the 20, the 50, the 30, and the 20. This is your 50 here. The white one is the 50. And that is indicative more toward a longer term, long trend or a potential reversal. Doesn't mean that it will, because again, it's getting some resistance here. But it is from my swing trading strategy standpoint, that is something I really have to pay attention to. But the other two charts that we have do show there is some potential for a move back down. The only thing that doesn't confirm would be the moving average chart. Now, one thing I want to look at, and I want to talk to you about, we're going to see if we could sell an iron condor here, which is a strategy that would take advantage of a move sideways in this market. In other words, we don't know if it's going to go up, we don't know if it's going to go down, but we do have a good sideways through here. So what happens if we sell an iron condor in it? Can we make money that way? And I've got this trend line here that I want to pay attention to, and I've got this trend line here I want to pay attention to as we look at that to see if there's any. First of all, we have to see if it makes sense to sell it. So we're going to take a look at one of those right now to see if it makes sense to try an iron condor, to sell an iron condor in CVX. All right, let's switch screens here, take a look, see if we can sell a decent iron condor. All right, the January expiration is 29 days out. I'm just kind of looking at the numbers here. I'm not real sure I like what I'm seeing on these. Let's go out one more week. Now, to do the weeklies, you got to make sure you got a good bid-ask spread, make sure the numbers work. And what we're going to do is we're going to start right here at the 115 put. I'm going to sell an iron condor. And let's start with the 121 call. Let's do a 121 by 124, which is 3. All right, it's pretty good credit. Let's click over to the Analyze Trade and the TD Ameritrade. It's like I run one of these before. Alright. Let's see what we got here. This is the 24th expiration. And set break even to 25th. And we're at a 45%. That's pretty low. So I typically would like to have a little bit higher percentage going into one of these. You know, this shaded area here is the estimated range for this time period based on current volatility. So we're going to bump this out to a 123, 126. And we're going to bump this down to a 113, 110. See how much money is still in it. Unlock it. 79 cents. I don't really like 79 cents here on a 300 wide spread. That's about a quarter. It's not terrible, I guess. Let's see what our new break even is. So now we've got a 61.57. That's much closer to what I like to see. We can see our two break evens on the downside is 112.23, and on the upside, top side, we've got 123.80. Let's go back to the chart and take a look at where that puts us. We'll use the wave chart. So 123.80 is right in this range. You know, it's above this Keltner channel. It's above the trend line I have here, which is good. I would like to have seen it above here of the 125 area. So that's the 123.80 is here. The 112.22. You know, I'm not real fond of this one. It's just below this line, but it is. We do have this Keltner channel here. Let's take another look at it and see if we can bump it down on the downside. Let's see if we bump it down one more to 112.109. So that's 72 cents. That is not terrible either. That takes us to a 65. You know, I think this would be a good trade. And in fact, when the market opens, I may take a look at it myself to place it. Got a 65% chance of being successful. You know, my new break even to the downside is 111.18. I'm sorry, 28, 111.28. I did lose a little bit on the top side. It's now 123.75. That's just a nickel. Let's take a look at what this looks like on the chart. So 111.28 puts me right here. This is a nice zone to be short. You know, I've got a pretty low swing low here. So I like that. Let's take a look at the Bollinger Bands. You know, I've got 111 is right here. So I'm below the Bollinger Bands, although they're really contracted, so I gotta be careful with that. And the other thing is, with the Bollinger Bands contracted like this, I'm not getting very much time value because volatility is low. Not ideal for an iron condor. Just sell an iron condor. But yeah, I think I like this trade. I might take a look at trying to place this one when the market opens. What I would do is I would try to close it at about 50%. So if I sell it for 72 cents, and I wouldn't sell it below 72 if you're trying this trade. If I sell it for 72 cents, then I'm going to want to try to close it, I don't know, at about 35 to 36, 37 cents, somewhere in that neighborhood. And I put a good to cancel order out there. Got 36 days on it, 65% probability of success. I'm going to take a look at this one as the market opens. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. Thanks.